welcome back to Solve with Danny. And today you're going to learn if an equation has one answer, infinitely many answers, or none, just silliness. So we're just going to dive right in and check out some real life examples. So if you've watched my channel before, when I solve equations, I like to use the DCVS method. If you don't know it, go back to the playlist. It's in there. Okay. But it means distribute, combine like terms, get variables on one side, and solve. So that's kind of how I attack my problems. I also really like to draw a line down the middle first. So in this equation, there's nothing to distribute. I can't combine any like terms yet. So what's next to do is get variables on one side. And I like to try to avoid negatives whenever possible. And with always in reach is my calculator. I love this calculator. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is move 2x. So we are going to subtract 2x from each side. And if you're wondering why I'm always looking down, my iPad's down here. Okay, so we're left with 1x plus 5 equals 9. This is looking promising. We'll subtract 5, get x equals 4. So this problem has one unique solution. It's like what we've been doing, for weeks in math right now. In years past, you get a pretty answer. Well, life is good. Now let's see if that's the case for the next one. Okay. So there's two different ways you can start solving this problem. They will both get you to the same conclusion. Okay, and I'm going to show you it both ways just so you can see it does not matter which way we start solving this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the one on the left. I like to get my x's alone. I like to isolate that first. So when I subtract 4x from each side, womp womp, the x's cancel out. We're left with a silly answer of -7 equals 2. Well, that's a false statement. Nope, not true. So this shows that the problem has no solutions because we get something silly that doesn't make sense. -7 will never equal 2, at least in this universe. All right. So that's what happens when you choose to move the x's first. Let's see what happens if I move the constants first. So if I decide I want to add 7 to each side, we get 4x equals 4x plus 9. We subtract 4x from each side. Same thing happens. My x's cancel out. I'm left with 0 equals 9. Wah, wah. That doesn't make sense. No solution. So if you get something that's just weird, the x's die out, and you're left with something that doesn't make sense, no solutions, friend. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, so this one we got a little more action happening. Okay, we can use our DCVS. Yay! A little more fun. You're probably like, no, but I'm excited. So that's all that matters. All right, so we can indeed distribute. So let's distribute that 5. We get 5x. A little messy there. We get 5x plus 10 equals 5x plus 10. Well, this is interesting because the left and the right-hand side right now are perfectly the same. So at this step, you could say, oh, snap, left and the right are equal. That does mean infinitely many solutions. And that sideways 8 looking thing there, that's the sign for infinite. All right, but if you're like, maybe you didn't see it yet, if you're like not convinced, let's take it a step further. If I decide to subtract 5x from each side, it cancels out, which in your brain you might think, oh snap, no solution. But hang tight here. We get 10 equals 10. That is a true solution. So when you get something, even if the x's die, but you're left with something legit, 10 equals 10, a true statement, that also means dun, 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 infinite solutions. All right. So, and then we're done. Easy peasy. Life is good. Let's solve a couple more. And I encourage you at this point, when you pause the video, try and solve it on your own and then hit play to see like, oh, did you do it right? So fingers crossed. All right. Hopefully you did it right. If you paused, if you were brave enough. All right. So let's distribute first. 2x minus 6 plus 4 equals x plus 7. So I distributed. Now I'm going to combine some like terms. That minus 6 plus 4 looks good to me. I'm going to combine that. So we get 2x minus 2 equals x plus 7. Looking pretty normal, pretty legit. So we're going to get our variables to the same side now. So let's subtract x to each side. X minus 2 equals 7. Okie dokie. This doesn't look too shabby. We get x equals 9. Therefore, we have one unique solution. No other answers will work except for this one. So, not too bad. Let's try another one. Again, pause, hit play when you're ready. Challenge yourself a little bit. Be bold. Okay. So let's distribute. 6x minus 12 plus 3x equals 9x minus 12. All right, we distributed. Let's combine some like terms. We've got 6x and 3x. So we get 9x minus 12 equals 9x minus 12. Oh, snap. The left and the right are exactly the same, but if you feel the need to just go one more step farther, you do you, boo. Just for giggles, let's do it. X's die, they cancel out, but I'm left with negative 12 equals negative 12. Since this is indeed a true statement, we have infinite solutions because the statement is true. Yay! So literally any value of x in the ether out there, you could use pi, you could use 1, you could use 7 million. It will always be true. And that, no, I do have one more. Oh, I have a few more. Let's just do one more. Then I think we got it. But if in the comments you want to see more of my examples, comment below and I can always do a part 2. All right. Shout out to Robin, Mrs. Schreiner, for recommending this topic, by the way. All right, so can we distribute? Nope. There's no like terms, so that's nice. So let's get the variables on the same side. So I like to move my x's first. So I'm going to subtract 7x from each side. Wah, wah. X's are dying off, but what are we left with? We are left with 4 equals negative 10. Well, that's just silly. That is a very false statement. So since this statement is false, it is not true. It will never be true. We have 0, I should say no solutions. So I hope that cleared things up for you today. If you want a part 2, comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you hate math just a little less. Bye, everybody.